On the youngest geopolitical server in Minecraft, one war has been raging for a few weeks now, and that war is between Business Bay and the Antarctic Empire. Business Bay was losing by quite a large margin, as proven by the events in the Battle of the Bridges, which I've already made a video on, and you can find it in the description or on the top of the screen. This war may be closer than we originally expected. Make sure to comment down below who do you think will win, the Antarctic Empire or Business Bay? But now, let me tell you a little bit more about this conflict. So the now very impressive Business Bay army, TimeDio, Bitzel, TommyInnit, and Luke all flew over to the Antarctic Empire, near Techno's castle. They placed item frames with images that said, "Tommy is angry" all over the place, for a prank. Dio had another reason for showing up though. He wanted to kill Wisp, a former member of Business Bay. He wanted to kill Wisp because he said he was bad at Skyblock, which angered TimeDio, as he had the most hours played on Skyblock out of any Hypixel YouTuber. Tommy though, knowing how powerful Wisp was, informed Dio that Wisp had very good armor and would most likely destroy TimeDio in combat, which would only add to the embarrassment. This story now switches over to voiceover Pete. Pete noticed that some of the Business Bay members were in Antarctica and invited them to see his big boomer train station that was under construction. Pete also wanted to meet the new members of Business Bay, but Wisp, who was with Pete, did not allow this. Upon the Business Bay members' arrival, Wisp attacked Tommy, and Tommy attacked him back. Pete then noticed the ongoing battle, and got in his plane and attempted to airstrike the battle going on, below. Pete missed the first attempt, but on his second attempt, he flew back over them and accidentally hit himself with his own airstrike, which killed him instantly. TimeDio noticed that Pete had died, so he went over and stole the unprotected items. Dio then ran into the ocean to hide from Pete and Wisp. Tommy then landed a plane, to which Dio got in and flew away with all of Pete's items. Pete was not happy about this at all, and so was Wisp. Wisp threatened to blow up Business Bay into smithereens, but then went to Pete to talk about their next move. Sal C1 then arrived to help the Antarcticans in their outnumbered situation. The members of Business Bay then landed back home in Business Bay, when Tommy then suggested that Dio return Pete's items, so they would not anger the Emperor of the Antarctic Empire, Technoblade. Though shortly after this, Tommy remembered that the Ice Emperor did not return his own items when he killed him in combat, which led them to decide not to fly back and give Pete his items. Wisp then flew over to Business Bay, and did something that has never happened on SMP Earth before. Wisp started destroying Business Bay. He destroyed a lot of the bases, and then slaughtered many of their cows, and released the remaining ones. Business Bay was in shambles. The structure built by Tommy was now gone, which enraged the Business Bay members. The Antarctic Empire then remembered TimeDio was still holding onto Pete's items, so they started a witch hunt and chased after him. Tommy then decided he should retaliate the only way he knew how. He issued an ultimatum, which was if the Antarctic Empire killed Dio, Tommy would kill all of the Antarctic Empire's good villagers. The Antarcticans were not having any of it though, so they prepared to follow Tommy back to what remained of his base if he stepped foot into the Empire's territory. Tommy was very intimidated by this, so he decided to turn around, which led to TimeDio not being slain. We now go to Sylvie, one of Techno's potential rivals, who was watching the battle ensue. She wanted the two nations to negotiate, so she attempted to establish a negotiation between the two. She convinced them to have one, and then acted as a moderator throughout the event. First, she offered TimeDio a protection 4 diamond armor set, in exchange for giving our wholesome boomer, voiceover Pete, his items back. Throughout this entire discussion, TimeDio did not give back any of Pete's armor, as he was wearing it, but he did give back some of Pete's miscellaneous items. Tommy then noticed that Sylvie was not well geared, so he suggested to Luke, one of the members of Business Bay, to attack her. They agreed, and Dio then struck Sylvie 3 times, killing her and stealing all of her items as well. This infuriated Sylvie, Wisp, and voiceover Pete, so they flew over to Business Bay and set fire to the storage area. Then they broke all of the enemy's chests, which severely crippled the business nation. Tommy then reinstated his original ultimatum, but the Empire completely ignored it and continued griefing. Sylvie then respawned and begged Business Bay for her items back. Tommy stated that they would only do so if she enemied the Antarctic Empire. So that's exactly what she did. Tommy and Dio gave her the majority of her items back, and right after, Sylvie retracted her enemyship with the Antarctic Empire and then enemied Business Bay instead. A very sneaky but effective move. She then met up with Wisp and Pete to initiate an all-out attack on Business Bay to seal the fate for the businessmen. The battle was fierce, but very short-lived, as Dio and Tommy both combat logged, realizing that they would lose. This was very cowardly, and Sylvie and the Antarcticans were not happy about it. As the Antarctic Empire was angered by the combat log of Tommy and Dio, they decided to further grief Business Bay. The Antarctic Empire and its allies met up and began destroying all of Business Bay. After completing the destruction, the Antarctic Empire then began to create a trap in the location where the enemies logged out, and it would trigger if they joined the server again. Kara Corvus, the Emperor of the Corvarian Empire, then logged on and realized she had missed the entirety of the battle, which saddened her. But then, she found out that her Minecraft girlfriend Sylvie was murdered. She was furious. She flew over to Business Bay and helped create the trap for the combat loggers. She then declared war on Business Bay as well. Chip, the most powerful being on the server, who had been watching the battle unfold from far, convinced the Inquisition, which consists of Junkie Janker and Brody Animates, to help calm down the two parties involved. Ink Tempo, and RobTop, who were all former members of the Inquisition, then helped fix some of the destruction in the Business Bay area, and then destroyed the trap created by the Antarctic Empire and their allies, which they were not happy about. Later though, Dio did log back on and return some of Pete's items, though he couldn't return all of them because he did not have all of them. Wisp then realized he may have took this a little too far, and gave the nation a set of diamond armor and some other items that would help them rebuild stronger than ever before. Chip descended from the heavens and told the members of Business Bay that he would not intervene in the ongoing war, but he did recommend that they formally ally the Inquisition. Inkty of the Inquisition then decided to leave his nation and form a nation called Log Lagoon, which is controlled by Business Bay. Though not a large nation, this will certainly help Business Bay fight this war. The next day, Tommy realized the state that his nation was in, and he wanted to fix it. Tommy realized that this would not be the last attack and possible grief done by the Antarcticans and their allies, so he decided to reconnect with some old friends. A little backstory before this part. On the first few days of the server, an alliance called the Cumin Squad, which consisted of Tommy, Wilbur, and Charlie, was formed. This was a powerful alliance, but later broke up due to the Battle of the Bridges, which I have a video on. Wilbur and Charlie were still on neutral terms, but Tommy was removed from the alliance. Tommy contacted Charlie and asked for a new alliance. They then met up and discussed the future of the two nations. They then soon re-allied each other, which could harm the alliance between Wilbur and Charlie. This allyship is a useful one, as the two nations are very close together, K-pop being in the Koreas and Business Bay being just above them. Business Bay has been starting to rise up and become a powerhouse very quickly. They have now won a few wars and have menacing threats in Timedeo and Bitzel, who are both not newcomers to combat. They are very similar to Technoblade, the Emperor of the Antarctic Empire, as their upcoming was due to Sky Wars. These two additions could sway the war and completely turn it over. Though now, as you've probably noticed, the Antarctic Empire has added Wisp to their ranks, who is a well-seasoned UHC PvPer. I know before that I had said that Sylvie is Techno's new rival, but now with the introduction of Timedeo and Bitzel, this could lead down a whole new road that I was not expecting. Back to Business Bay though. Dio and Bitzel have already wreaked havoc on the nations surrounding Business Bay, causing one of them to completely disband. If Business Bay were put into combat in ideal situations versus Techno and the rest of the Antarctic Empire, the Antarctic Empire could have a huge problem in their hands. Though, it is now hinted that the Antarctic Empire may be getting a fifth member, which would sway the momentum of the war again. I really have no clue who will win, so comment down below who you think will win. Hi everyone, thank you for watching this video, and as you may have noticed, I have enabled the join button for my channel. This basically acts like a Twitch subscription, and if you become a channel member, it would really help me. I made a video going over everything, so if you want to learn more about that, check that out. But for now, I'll take my leave. See ya!